Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today we're winding back to 2009, if you can believe it, to the old Toy Story sets. This is Woody and Buzz to the Rescue, which retailed for $20, which adjusted for inflation would be $32 in 2024 money, with only 92 pieces, but two brand new for the time minifigures, including Buzz and Woody, that both had very uniquely molded parts and pieces. Now, I love the Toy Story sets back in the day. I had all of them from the first wave, and as you can see, this set just has so much charm to it, and I'm really excited to review it today, so let's get into it. We took a brief look at the box, but also it's fun to look at the instructions. Kind of cool here, but all the way at the back, if we go a couple more pages, we've got a great advertisement here for the other sets from the first wave. I really like this Buzz Lightyear Star Command ship here that came with Zurg, our only Zurg minifig ever. We also got this one here, which was pretty cool. It was an army builder pack of the Green Army Men, basically the only military set LEGO has ever actually made. And this one's kind of cool. It is the Woody's Roundup set, so you got Bullseye, Woody, Jesse, and the Prospector all in one set, which was really cool. Then, of course, at the end here, we still had some latent advertisements for Exoforce. We had an Indiana Jones on the Lego Club magazine. Of course, 2009 was the last year of the original run of Indiana Jones. And the iconic Win Kid, my buddy Martinez, on the back of the instructions. So, always fun to just kind of look at these and go down memory lane. So, our first minifigure here is Woody. And if you'll notice, he has the tall legs. Now, the last time we saw these tall legs was on the Avatar figures from the Avatar movies, but they actually debuted on Woody all the way back in 2009. They were also used on Jesse back in the Toy Story 3 era of sets as well, but then they disappeared for a long time until Avatar, so it's really cool to go back and review the very first time that they ever appeared. Now again, just for comparison, we'll put Buzz here for a second so you can see what regular Lego legs look like. So you can see that they're exactly one stud taller, and as far as posability goes, they have all the same posability, and of course you can see the figure down, but now because of being one stud taller, they're going to take up that much more space. To accompany those legs, we also have longer arms on these minifigures, being Woody and Jesse, so they're really, really cool, and they really stand out in that way. Now, Woody's hat is not removable. Thankfully, he can't lose it in the LEGO universe, at least not in this version. And Woody's entire head is one large piece that's custom molded for the character. So, I think that this figure has aged exceptionally well. I think it translated really well to what Woody looked like as a toy into LEGO, and I do think that this is one of the better Toy Story figures from any of the sets, let alone the very first wave. And our other minifigure here was the debut of LEGO Buzz Lightyear. He did come in another set in this wave, but of course this was the very first time he was ever offered. Now, you guys may be a little bit more familiar with the CMF version of Buzz, which is very similar in terms of pieces used, but of course the original version here had its own molded head that, again, just like Woody, looks a lot more like the toy from the movie than a LEGO minifigure. And some people have said that these age poorly, but honestly, I really like that it's the perfect blend of LEGO minifigure in terms of body and scale, but we get the head that's very stylized to the original toy. You can lift the bubble off the back here so that, you could retract it like the movie, but LEGO has never done a full bubble that covers Buzz's entire head with this piece on like that. So that's kind of unique. We'll go ahead and lift this off so that we can also remove the head to see the really nice torso print that was put on the front and back of the character. Not entirely necessary because so much of it gets covered up by the jetpack part of the body, but it is very cool that it was included regardless. Now, you'll see that he does have his wings. Those wings are removable, so you just have to kind of pull those wings out, and then he's in standard mode, and the wings have these two pieces on the end that just insert into there. A little something like that. So it is super, super simple, and I love that. It's a really cool figure. Like I said, I think it's aged well, and of course, getting leg printing in 2009, it was becoming more common then, but it was still very cool to get that on both Buzz and Woody in this set. Now, one really nice thing about this set is no stickers, so the big one that's on the rocket for Buzz is actually printed on. However, it's only printed on one side. And it's a little annoying, but it's not that big of a deal. As you can see, it's just a simple rocket build that goes onto this clip, that, of course, goes onto the stud on the back of Buzz's jetpack. So that way it's just like the movie where he's strapped to the rocket, and it actually can support his own weight, which I always thought was pretty cool. Now, the one thing that does bother me is, of course, in the movie, Buzz kind of carries Woody as they're falling with style, and there's no way to actually make Buzz be able to hold Woody. I think if this set were made today, we would actually have, like, a bracket on the back of Woody's neck that Buzz could maybe hold on to, but unfortunately, the best you could do is kind of, like, use your imagination and have them fall with style together. Now, guys, when I tell you I loved Toy Story growing up, there's no way to get it across. I had so many Buzz Lightyears. My parents really loved that I loved Toy Story, and I just had a lot of Toy Story stuff. So RC existing in LEGO was mind-blowing to me back in 2009, and I loved it so much. The main play feature is the pullback motor function, which worked pretty well. It really, really rips and goes, so there's a lot of power to it, and it is cool that you could roll it forward, but if you roll it back at all, it's going to make that motor wind up, and he really can get up and go. Now, you'll notice that his antenna here is not the same color as on the box. I did have to replace that, because I guess I lost the correct color pieces, but again, no stickers, so these side pieces and the spoiler were both printed, which I really, really liked, and overall, it's just a really solid build with perfectly movie-accurate colors, and I think it's aged really well. Also, the eyes, of course, being brick built up front, you can kind of turn the eyes just like the movie, and it's really accurate. I love it. Now, the way that I display this is I actually put Buzz's rocket like this, and I'll have him, like, holding Woody with that neck bracket that I talked about. I actually built one, but sometimes I'll also display it where, like, Woody is like this, and then Buzz has the neck bracket, a little something like that. So, regardless, it's a really cool set. Crazy to think that adjusted for inflation, this would be $32 today. I feel like people would think that's a total ripoff, but back in the day, I do feel like $20 made a lot of sense for this set. Basically getting 3 main characters, one of which, by necessity, had to be entirely brick-built and no stickers. I do think it was a good value back in the day. One of those weird cases where inflation doesn't make sense with time, but regardless, I still think it's a cool set. So let's wrap up this video and call it a day. Alright guys, well let me know what you thought of this review in the comments down below. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and stay tuned because as time goes by, I would like to review more of the Toy Story sets. This is a franchise that meant so much to me. I was such a huge fan of it growing up, and I just love to review all the sets. So I reviewed a couple back in the day. I might re-review those actually, just to keep things consistent and modern, but regardless, really excited for that, so stay tuned, and I'll see you guys on the next video.